Hey y'all, welcome back to Gentleman Gray Man. Today, we're going to dive into this kit I've assembled for carrying charging equipment. And the reason I assembled it is because of one bad assumption that I carried with me on several work trips. I gathered all these different pieces of gear together here into this nice pouch that isn't much larger than a paperback novel to address one specific error or another that I committed on one of these work trips. And frankly, these errors that I committed again and again, almost habitually. So I'm going to discuss what that bad assumption was, and then one by one go through each of these errors and why each of these pieces of gear complete the kit that resolves them. For months, work travel meant laptop charger, one extra USB-C to USB-C cable. I figured that cable could charge my phone off the laptop overnight, plug into a rental car for navigation, cover whatever came up. One cable, 3 jobs. That didn't hold. 4 trips to Houston, I honestly couldn't put them in order anymore. They've started to blend together. But what hasn't blended together is what each of these trips taught me. Here's the bigger issue. More than any outlet being in an inconvenient spot, I just don't like plugging my phone into a USB port that I do not control. A hotel nightstand, an airport charging station, whatever is built into the rental car's dash, those ports carry a real documented risk. It's called juice jacking. A compromised public port can pull data off of a phone or push something onto it, quietly enough that you'd never know what happened. The FBI's put out public warnings about this. That's true whether or not there's a convenient outlet nearby. And when there isn't one nearby, which happens plenty, outlet behind the headboard or the lamp is taking up the only plug, that just compounds it. If I wanted my phone charging overnight to read in bed, the laptop charger wasn't reaching, and I wasn't about to solve that by trusting a port I knew nothing about. That problem got worse on one of the trips that I couldn't place in sequence. I was rushing to the airport, phone already being drained from navigation when my wife called. A construction mishap next door led to our water being shut off. Now I'm sitting at the gate waiting to board my flight on the phone with the water utility, trying to sort this out before boarding. That call ate my battery down fast. Sitting there, I had the laptop charger plugged in under the stranger sitting in the seat across from me with my phone plugged into the laptop just to keep it alive because I still needed it for that boarding pass. That's the scene that sold me on the idea of this, an Anker Nano 5K. This is a MagSafe battery bank slim enough to disappear against the back of an iPhone. No cord, nothing crossing into anyone else's space, and nothing plugged into a port that I just don't know anything about. Just the phone and something stuck with a magnet to the back that I control completely. 5,000 milliamp hours isn't enormous. I'll say that plainly. It's enough for one real top-up, not a full day untethered, but it's enough to get you through that boarding process. Different trip, same sort of problem. Driving back to the airport through Houston traffic, running navigation. CarPlay would only connect over Bluetooth, not wired, but only if the phone wasn't plugged into the car's USB port at all for some reason. So navigation ran the whole drive on Bluetooth, phone unplugged, draining the entire time. Got to the rental car return and walked into the terminal with the battery in single digits. So added to the kit, the iNope 67.5 watt cigarette lighter 12 volt charger. A car charger fixes this directly. No choosing between navigation, security, and battery. And this is a flush fit, so it doesn't sit out from the dash like a dongle waiting to get knocked loose. Next, we've got a really key piece of gear in this kit. An Anker 735 charger. This 65 watt fast charger is for the actual wall outlet. It has 3 ports, foldable prongs, and a very solid construction. It's small enough that it doesn't block both outlets in a pair like some do. 65 watts, gallium nitride, GaN. I haven't needed 65 watts for a phone yet, but the laptop's battery has gotten low enough mid-trip that I've wanted a charger that's rated for both. So you can extend its life with this if you have to. And when you do use it on your phone, the battery fills back up at ludicrous speed. As a plus, it has 2 USB-C ports and 1 USB-A port. And we really can't forget the cords. Those are important. We've got the Anker USB-C to USB-C fast charging flow cord series. These are only 3 feet long to make sure they're compact and so that you don't get any major losses that you might get with longer cords. We really can't forget how important a good cord is when you're trying to appropriately and quickly charge your devices. Good cords also help with durability. Here's the part that's easy to miss watching this, one piece at a time. None of it matters if it's still 5 separate things rattling around loose in a laptop bag or a briefcase. The whole kit lives in a single pouch. It's the EDC pouch from Blue Ridge Overland Gear. And when I got the Blue Ridge Overland Gear EDC pouch, I got it as the bundle. That includes the additional Velcro elastic keepers. These interior keepers aren't a response to any one trip, but they do make sure that everything gets one spot every single time. And like I said, it's only a little bit larger than a paperback novel. And that's the big fix for their original problem. Not that I'm carrying more now, but I'm carrying it as one thing instead of as 6. It comes with the Blue Ridge Overland Gear emblem leather patch, but one thing you don't see here yet is my patch, leather debossed with my coordinates instead of a name. So if this ever gets left somewhere, whoever finds it can know where it's supposed to get to without knowing specifically who. It's on order. And for now, this kit is a step ahead of that last piece. The old plan was one cable trying to do 3 jobs, and it wasn't succeeding. The new kit, 5 tools, each doing one job, but living in one pouch. So grabbing it is exactly as simple as grabbing that one cable used to be. One zipper to check before I leave, not 6 pockets. It's worth saying plainly, multiple separate chargers is heavier and more redundant than one charger that claims to do it all. I made that trade because the all-in-one approach is exactly what already failed me. It might not be the right trade for you, but for me, one pouch, 5 tools, each doing its own job, is the whole idea. Full gear list in the description below. Thanks for watching. Bye.